Okay, we all been there. We got a big life event coming up and we say to ourselves, boy, it'd be really good if I could drop 10 and 20 pounds. And I want to go in this video and talk about when people in that situation, I believe that one of the best options for them to go with is a commercial weight loss program that's safe, effective, and can get them results predictably. Now, I'm a little biased. When I got a life event, if you want to call it that, in my life, it's when I went to the doctor, and after the second visit, he says, look, if you don't get to, you have a BMI of 30, which is considered obese. If you don't get your weight down by at least 20 to 25%, I'm going to start you on medications for pre-diabetes. So that was my life event. And so I'm a little biased. I chose to go to the commercial weight loss program my wife and I teach because we found that once you learn how to get it off, you should learn the same time how to keep it off. But I'm going to go through and talk about some of the big things that I think people are looking for when it comes to what I call life events. And here's number one. This is the big one. Wedding day to fit into their wedding dress, or brides to be. Sometimes the grooms too, to say to themselves, before the wedding, I want to get my weight down. So I know it's a big thing. They call it a wedding dress diets out there sometimes that brides shoot after because they really want to get down. Now here's the interesting thing. Surveys have shown that only 18% of brides actually reach their goal weight, which means what they're doing usually doesn't work, or they start too late, or they really don't understand what they need to do with weight loss. So anyway, when you have a structured program that's very predictable that you have to follow from A to Z, no variation, it will work. Now, there's a lot of them out there, and we can talk about some of those in another video. I think in one video I actually did go through and list all of them. So let's talk about the second life event, and that's beach, vacation, or swimwear. Huge in the summertime. I don't care who you are, man or female. You want to look good in your suit. You just don't want to look like you got that Dunlap disease where your stomach Dunlap over your bathing suit for guys. So I'm not going to speak to the ladies, but I know a lot of them too. They might not be thinking about bikinis, but they say to themselves, swimsuit's coming up, season's coming up, and I want to look better. Now here's one, job interview or work event. I don't know if you have enough time for a job interview to drop a few pounds, but some people really, that's a big thing for them. They want to lose weight for a job interview, and it might be something that you're struggling with, and you say to yourself, yeah, I need to get this done. So next one, I know this is a popular one, reunion or class gatherings. After being away from college or high school, you come back, you want to look good. You don't want to say, oh, look at so-and-so put on 25, 30 pounds. You want to come back and say, I didn't. I don't know, maybe not. But a lot of people really do talk about that as a big life event. Sports competition or fitness. A lot of times people can't participate in certain sports events or fitness programs unless they really get their weight down. That's a biggie. Now, the last one I think is the one that got me. Oh, no, it's not the last one. It's the second from the last. New medical diagnosis or doctor visit. That's a life event that said to myself, I am done trying to do this on my own, I guess you're going to call it with half-hearted effort. I'm going to really dial it in and get extremely focused and serious. And I believe, my wife and I both believe, that commercial weight loss programs can do that. Now, they're not going to be free, okay? You're going to have to invest in your health, but the money that I saved in co-pays, medications, doctor visits was huge when I said I'm going to get this off safe and effectively, but also fairly quickly, and I'm never going back. So anyway, here's a big one. Dating and romantic milestones. Now, when it comes to life events, this is a biggie. Some people are getting back in the dating field, or maybe after divorce, they're getting back into dating, and they want to have some romantic milestone events that they're looking forward to. It's a huge one. So I hope, maybe one of those, there's more, but maybe one of those is going to say to you, I really need to dial this in. I really need to jump on board and get moving with something. Now, is there pros and cons to commercial weight loss programs? There is, versus doing it on your own. But I'm going to go through and really focus on some of the pros. Why? Because I believe people that are looking to, for a life event, weight loss, they're looking to get some results fairly quickly. They want it safe and effective, but they need to get results quicker, and they don't mind a couple things. They typically don't mind cost as much, and secondly, they don't mind being structured if it's going to work. If it's going to get the results, guaranteed, they're going to do it. Now, they have to stick to the program, but you get what I'm talking about. Now, here's the 5 pros of choosing a commercial weight loss program over trying to do a DIY, do it yourself, or DIY, sorry. Number one, convenience. Usually the people that participate in it, they have everything they need in prepackaged meals and snacks. Sometimes there's a meal that they work in themselves. There's usually exercise, there's ongoing support, so there's a bunch of things there that they can really work on that's very convenient. They don't have to go look at all of the internet. So the convenience is huge with commercial programs. Number two, support and accountability is something they usually don't get on their own. So if they do that, they have a lot of community of participants that are working with. They have some people in the same place they are. Sometimes they have a coach, like in our case, we have some guidance, a coaching thing that we actually help them with. But they also have so much online information that's all really unified and comprehensively around what they're trying to do. I think it's huge. Expert guidance. This is where I think the rubber meets the road when it comes to people on a commercial weight loss program versus DIY. You got somebody there to give you guidance to say, now, I don't understand. I did the same thing I did 2 days ago, but I put on 2 pounds and I didn't eat anymore. And that person that's a coach who's done this before can say, hey, look, tell me about your exercise. Did you do some exercise? Did you do this? Did you do that? When did you weigh yourself? And we can usually figure out if there's some changes day in, day out. If you stay in touch with your coach, they can actually figure this out. So that's huge. Number 4, nutritious meals and snacks. Now, some people say, well, some of this food doesn't taste as good as what I could just, make myself. That's true, but here's the thing. A lot of them are really put together to be nutritionally sound with some of the micros and macros, but they're also low in calories and they're structured in calories. Usually, I believe, the proportion of carbs, protein, and fat are critical, because I believe it should be something where you have a fairly balanced amount of those in the recommended percentages, and not necessarily all just let's say protein, and that's some diet programs go that way. Okay, that's fine, but I believe long term, how you're going to sustain. And when we transition somebody from a commercial program on nutritious meals and snacks that they're buying, understand we have to transition them into healthy eating, and the best way to do that is to teach them that you want to be seeking for a certain type of food, whether it be a whole food, fruits and vegetables, but also a certain type of food that's nutritious and low calorie. Last thing, flexible plans. I believe there's a lot of plans out there that have flexibility based on your needs and based on your schedule, based on your work life, family life, and I believe sometimes people don't realize that it's actually easier to stay on a program if you're on a weight loss program that's commercially available, because they're usually structured for people on the go, very busy, without a lot of time. So, hope that helps. Cons, obviously. It's going to be less expensive to do it on your own. You're going to have more flexibility. You're going to be able to do some things that you can incorporate and maybe have a much slower weight loss, but a much more sustained thing long term if you change your habits. But here's the thing. I believe that's a big con to commercial programs, that the cost and the fact that you have to learn how to do it long term. But I'm in the belief, and so is Elizabeth, that if you learn how to get the weight off and you see that victory, you see the pounds fall off, predictably 1 or 2 pounds a week, sometimes a tad better, and you get down close to your normal weight, or you reach your normal weight, then you can say to yourself, all I got to do is just learn these habits that they've been teaching in the program and just extend that out and not go back. Because 80% of the people that do a commercial weight loss program will gain the weight back. They will gain it back in 5 years, and sometimes a little bit more weight. Why? They didn't change their habits. And I believe if you're really on the right program, it's going to teach you not just how to get the pounds off, but how to keep them off long term by developing some healthy habits. We have 6 steps that we follow. I'm on step number 6 right now, and I'm in the best shape of my life at 63, and so is my wife. She swims 4 miles a week in the pool, and we do a lot of hiking. We're in the best shapes we've been in our lives, and we're in our 60s. So anyway, I hope that helps. I think if you have a life event coming up, I really believe you should dial into thinking about getting on a commercial weight loss program. And if you want some help, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, we're here for you at Rx Healthy Habits. So until next video podcast, I hope that information serves you well.